Now, for those who's curious, I'll tell you now, yes, I did make a donation to the church, and you didn't say it because I didn't want you to see my card numbers. I mean, it's a simple thing. Not that I don't trust any of you lot, but I'd rather you didn't, have my debit card number. So last thing I want is loads of transactions to come out. Especially as you don't know what they'd be for. Simple precautions, I'm not paranoid at all, by the way. Not at all. I just invent scenarios in my head that will never happen. Do it all the time. But there's the pass I caught there. Number 9, that one. That's neat. I love these new bus stops, high-tech things. I think it's pretty neat. I know some will say it's a waste of money, but I think it's pretty cool. Anything that makes life easier is a good thing, I think. Within reason, of course. I mean, when it comes to public transport, I don't think it can be too easy. I mean, hardship can be good at times, but there are times when life should be easier. At least for other people, anyway. Not so much for me, but for other people it definitely should. See, I'm a good citizen, I'm waiting for the lights to change. Not when the road's clear, but when the lights change. Hey, let's go. Now, this is the exciting part I was telling you about. And you say, James, the countryside is not that exciting. Well, there's not much I can do. If that's your opinion, I really can't do a lot. But I'll say now, if you do like this sort of thing, then this is where it gets good. Just look at this view. Look at this. All of it. Absolutely amazing. Slightly ruined by the industrial units across the other side, but good lord, are they still to let? I remember them being built last year. Now that there is a memorial to the Shoreham airshow disaster. People died. It's one that sits particularly close to my heart because a plane crashed during an airshow just over, roughly on the main road up there, the A27. And I was going to go out that morning, but I decided to take a nap instead. I sometimes wonder if perhaps it was a divine intervention that kept me alive, or, just general bone olderness. It's kind of like how Seth MacFarlane almost got on one of the 9/11 planes, but didn't because his assistant forgot to put the tickets. It's one of those things. It could be divine intervention, but again, it could just be a coincidence. But not that it really matters because I'm still here, and so is he. Last time I checked, I think so. Anyway, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really a big fan of this. I used to love Family Guy and that about 20 years ago, but it's not really my thing now. Although the new Naked Gun film is supposed to be very good. I haven't seen it though. I will reserve my judgment. Next one in this is the Ada River. That in the background is Shoreham Airport. That down there is Shoreham, and that bridge for the trains. Now this is the old Shoreham footbridge. Until about 50 years ago, you used to have lorries coming down over this thing. I know, it's beggars belief, no. I really hope you can hear me over this wind. I really do. Which I insist. So I did tell one of my regular viewers that one day the wind stopped me from making a video. So I thought it would be too bad, but they ensured me that despite the wind, they can always hear me. So, because of them, I'm still doing this now. Otherwise I probably would have. I might have given up back at what's it called, Tesco. Now the last time I was here, if you remember, when I made my video at Newman's Park last year, it was really windy. So much so that you couldn't really hear me even with the editing software, which was annoying, but I still uploaded the video. It didn't stop me. I remember, just now I was saying to you, although you won't actually remember this because I forgot to press the record button, as I sometimes do. I'd like to learn the fly plane. Must be nice and liberating to be all the way just up there. But, otherwise, I don't really trust myself. Kind of think of it, I still think it's a miracle now that I actually passed my driving test. I really do. It took me 9 attempts to pass my driving test. Do you know that? 9 attempts. You wouldn't think it, would you? A genius like me struggling with things. But no, I actually struggle with everything, really. I think it's amazing, really, that I actually got it done after so many attempts, because I tend to give up on things. But if I'm being honest, I didn't get much of a choice when it came to actually giving up. But that's all in the past. And it was 20 odd years ago. Now, as there's not much to see here, I'm going to cross the road and I'm going to show you something that I saw in the previous video. Or I showed you lot in the previous video, I should say. Now, just there, you can't really see, it's the A27. And if you remember, I made a little video where I went to look at this thing. I mean, most people don't actually know what it is. It's just something you see as you drive past. Not many people really think about it. But it's actually a training dome, or it was, during World War II. I'll tell you a bit more when we get closer to it. Because it's a bit... Well, it would be very me, really, if I made it entire explanation without actually showing you the thing. Now, if you remember, but if you saw the bus trip footage, as if I uploaded it to a video, you'd notice I was over there earlier. Ah, yes, this is it. Thought we were here. Now, on the left, as I said, it's an old World War II training dome. It was what's it called? It's for shooting down bombers during World War II when they used to fly over the seas and drop their bombs. They used to do in these little domes that were in darkness, so that you had an idea of what would actually be like when you're doing it, because most bomb runs were done during night time, not daytime. You know, night time when they'd be infinitely harder to see. And you can see it there. There you go, it's that little dome, that dilapidated green dome. I'm assuming they would have painted it green to make it look more like the scenery and not get spotted, as was the style at the time. Now, I'm going to leave this out here for a few seconds, so if you want to read it, you can pause it. So, right, and we're walking on. We are going home. Today was all about making this walk home. I will have to make a proper video where I actually look around Shoreham Hill, because I've never actually looked around it. I've walked past it a few times, but I've never actually been inside. I know you can go inside, because there are things, experiences the general public can have there. Not just the plain owning public, that is. And I'm going to have to... There's something back up here, this pathway, isn't it? Yes, it is. Bloody typical. So, I shall return when I'm on the main road. Okay, I'm back on the A27 now. I just crossed that busy roundabout. I didn't make a video about it, but I appear to have forgotten to press record again. I keep doing that today, it's the second time. I'm going to have to keep an eye on myself. Maybe I'm going, you know, a bit senile. I mean, it's unlikely that it could happen at my tender age of 41, but it's not impossible. It's something that is starting to concern me a bit today. Because ironically enough, I was talking about today, earlier, when I realised I hadn't pressed the button, that I was feeling pretty good. And I'm getting very concerned now. Because 2 times now I appear to have not pressed the record button. And this time I know I have pressed the record button, so I can actually see the timer. So I think from now on I've just got to be extra careful and make sure I have actually pressed the button, you know. I remember one time when I was doing my reading videos, I pressed record and it just stopped after that 15 minutes, and that freaked me out. So I don't like the idea of me not being able to make videos. And yes, I know I could get a fancier camera and all that other stuff, but I like this for now. And for mine, I don't think a fancy camera would make a whole lot of difference. I mean, I could get myself one of those GoPros, but they're not cheap. They really aren't. I think with the shaking vibration that my hands do, I don't think I can do a whole lot for the quality of the photo. Although I could be wrong on that. But I just didn't want to spend a load of money to find it exactly the same as it was before. Now, before I get too down and depressed and feeling sorry for myself and inventing scenarios in my head that will never happen, which is something I am fairly good at, I will admit, I'm going to change the subject. I know what you're thinking, James. You have a few issues. Yes, I do. That's one of the reasons I started this whole vlog in the first place. Now, this little lay-by here is famous around these parts because there's a burger van at the end which is sometimes open, and on busy days the police will wait at the other end to catch cars trying to use this as a shortcut to cut into traffic. Something I've never actually done myself. Thought about it a few times. I've never actually done it. And judging by that lot there, I'm going to guess they're going to build more houses here. I don't really have feelings on it, if I'm honest, new houses. I mean, aesthetically I don't like them. But I get it, houses are needed, people need somewhere to live. And with an ever-growing population, you've got to put people somewhere. And I never really cared for the whole not in my backyard thing, you know? Never wanted to be one of those people. It's very hypocritical to say, well, we don't want them here, but other places should just accept them, you know? And this is not a political rant, by the way. Just saying, you know, people have to live places, and that's not political in my opinion. For you ask, I'm not actually going to start a politics channel or anything, because that would be silly. And if I'm honest, my skin is it's the opposite of thick skin, really. I haven't got that, so it's pointless me trying to do it. I think if I did, I'd get a few death threats, and that would probably send me into hiding. And I'd probably be even worse than before I actually started this vlog. So at the moment, I've not really got any negative comments. I've had one guy who I think was taking out of me, but he might not have been. It's hard to tell. I deleted the comment in the end. At first I just left it there, unanswered, unliked and all that lot, but I think one day I just deleted it. Which is probably what I'll do with future messages that I don't think are really negative. Because we don't really need that. I don't think so anyway. Oh, I can smell that food. It makes you hungry. All I've had to eat today so far is a sandwich. But I digress. Now, as I was saying before, back when I forgot to actually press the record button, this is the last stretch of the walk. Because it will be ending at the next roundabout, because obviously I don't want you people knowing where I live, which I think is fair. I mean, you can know the general area, but I'm not actually going to show it to you. And if I've learned anything, is that if I make it more vague where I live, the harder it will be for people to know. Which actually does lead me on to something interesting. Do you remember back when people would put, you see comments on YouTube videos saying things like, you know, Rebecca, Store, Dominion, all that lot. You know, you think, what do those 3 or 4 random words actually mean? Now, what they were, apparently, it was people trying to work out where people lived. Because apparently, there's this thing on YouTube for YouTube creators where you can censor words that are related to where you live. So, if you lived on Warwick Street in, say, Brighton, you could censor the word Warwick and Brighton so that they wouldn't appear in your comments. And when the bots or human beings found out that it was them, then they would actually have a clue as to where you lived. But they seem to have... I don't think that really works now, because you don't see those comments anymore. And personally, I think it's easier just not to, you know, tell people where you live. And if you don't censor words, then it'll be harder to work out. Although someone actually did posted my street online, it'll be hard not to want to censor it, you know? Really would. But I chose to be a YouTube creator, and this is one of the things I must live by, or live with, I should say. Used to be a petrol station, as you can probably tell by the forecourt. Used to be one over there as well, actually. Not that you can tell anymore because they destroyed the whole thing. Used to sell caravans there as well. I remember my dad looked at a few around here as well at one point. I hope that's recycled water they're using, otherwise it's a bit of a waste. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, becoming a YouTube creator. I knew the risk I was taking when I became a YouTube creator. Then again, so far I'm lucky. The worst thing that's really happened to me so far is today when someone called me a dickhead when I was walking by. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. If you can hear it, I'll leave it in. Just so you know the stuff that I have to put up with for your entertainment. But I digress, as I always do. Although it makes a change from getting distracted and talking about something completely different, which is apparently what people with dementia do. I hope that's not a sign either, although saying I've been like that most of my life actually. So if I do have dementia, I've had it most of my life, so I won't really know the difference. Now, I will show you something. When I done my video, I went to that air training dome thing I was talking about. Oh sorry, actually no, it's called a gunnery training dome, I believe. I'm trying to remember what it's called this entire time, but I ain't just remembered. If you remember, I started the video from over there. Excuse me, I fell down a little hole right there. That could have been dangerous. All the way down there, on that side. So you may recognise this scenery. It's just coming at it from a different angle. This was caused, by the way, is considered North Lance in this area here. I don't think I've actually shown you North Lancing yet. It's been seen in one of my bus videos, but if I'm honest, it's just houses. And I'm not too sure the countryside area would be considered Lancing or not. I should really find out, but I'll probably forget. But saying that, I'll be listening to this while I'm editing, so I'll be able to say so then. And again, is Google Maps really the most reputable source for this? It's hard to tell. Anyway, Can't really tell yet, but we are coming to the end of this video. Because I'm almost at my end destination. I've got one or two bits to do, but I'm not going to show you the rest of it. There are other things to see, obviously, around the area, but they'll have to wait for other videos. But hopefully, if this good weather continues, I can continue to show you more of this good stuff. I really do. Because it's very liberating doing these videos for me, I find. So I just get talking. And putting myself out there is actually making me feel better, you know? I mean, I still got miles to go. But I'm getting there. Which is the important thing. And I did say that now that the good weather's coming, I've got no excuse not to do these videos. I mean, all the time I've got the time to do these videos, I should keep doing them. I mean, granted, they're not the most popular things I do, but they're popular with me, you know. I know the few little viewers I do have will be here regardless, no matter what I do. You know, until just now, never was that little road that goes from here to the beach is called the A2025. I don't think it would have a name. Well, not like that anyway. Still, maybe they plan to make it longer than the olden days. I don't really know. In another timeline, I could be one of those YouTubers that does like the history of the area, you know, sort of like a Jago Hazard type, only for, you know, the Greater Worthing area. That would have been interesting. Some events if I was like that in real life, if I was one of those. Probably more viewers too, but then again, I'd actually kind of think, I think I'd always have these mental health problems, no matter what I did, no matter how successful or happy I am. I think I'll still be miserable mostly at the end of the day. I really do. Now I know I keep saying this, but the end is coming up. I did say, because your figure ends at this roundabout coming up here. And we're almost there. It's been a while since I've walked along here. It's really nice. It's kind of nice to do these things again. And I think if I wasn't doing this vlog, I don't think I'd be here now. I probably would have gone maybe a different route. Probably would have gone through the houses, which is a less nice route in my opinion. At least this is, I don't know really, think about it. I know it's a busy main road and I dread to think of some of the fumes I'm breathing in because it is starting to smell a bit now. But something about it that I just like, you know. Really wish I could put it into better words, but I can't. Still, as we are coming up to our destination, I'm going to have to love you and leave you folks. Now I just want to say that I'm incredibly grateful that you have joined me on this journey. I really am. And if this is a two-parther, then thank you even more for doing this. I'm even more grateful for it. However, if it's one-parther, still thank you. But that really matters because you're here regardless. Now, just wanted to say that I'm incredibly grateful that you have stuck with me on this journey. I really am. And I hope that in life you get to where you are on your journey, you know. Everyone's going somewhere, and I hope you reach the destination of your choice. So there's that house there, that's new. Brand new, that is, to those two places. There's one down there as well, that's new as well. But as I was saying, I love each and every single one of you, by the way. I hope that you all take care of yourselves. So until next time, bye.